Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Brandon, your trusted realtor, and I'm coming to you with another awesome video chock full of information. And I want to talk to you today about stimulus. The stimulus package, the last one that was passed, was $2.2 trillion. And since then, we've seen, at least the start of the pandemic, 40 million Americans have filed for unemployment. That number continues to grow each and every month. And in the weeks to come, we'll see that Congress has a host of different options that are available to them. Today, we want to talk about those specific options that are available, some of the eligibility and criteria that you can expect to come down the pike. But remember, all of this information is still at the moment anecdotal. These are all still bills and proposals that still have to be discussed and processed and debated in Congress. But at least we can get this information out to you, the folks here on the street, and we can have a little bit of a discussion ourselves about what your thoughts are around this. So, as always, before we get started and we jump into this bevy of information, I need your support. So remember, can't repeat it enough. This year I'm looking to reach 2,000 or more followers. So remember to like and subscribe to the video so that way you and I will stay notified about all the great information. Well, not really me, more like you. But anyways, so you'll stay informed to all the greatest information and content that I'll be dropping. Let's go and get right into it. A couple things for you to consider before we dive into this is a lot of the information that I'm going to give you and the decisions that as far as direct deposits and you getting your check is going to be based on your 2018 and 2019 tax return. So it's going to be important that you make sure that you go ahead and file those. Now remember, the IRS has extended the deadline from April 15th to July 15th. So we have over a month to get those taxes into the IRS. So just don't dally. Go ahead and get it in so you can get your check direct deposited. That also means making sure that your banking information is updated and accurate so it goes into the account that you're looking for, whatever the options are that are presented. So specifically, there's a bevy or a host of different options that are before Congress, and in the weeks to come, they're going to be making a decision about what they want, what they're going to do, and what options or relief they're going to provide to the American public. There's no shortage of ideas, and as Congress wrestles with these questions and they debate, the real question at the forefront is, what are the next steps? What does that relief look like for the American people? As you know, $2.2 trillion has already been spent, with $1,200 being received by many Americans, or at least those eligible Americans. A recent study was published by Wallet and found that based on that 84% of the American sentiment suggests that the initial round of stimulus money wasn't enough and wasn't sufficient for people to either maintain life, household, or needs. It just wasn't enough to cut the mustard. So with that, and with the growing number of people who are unemployed, or in some cases who are underemployed, because there is a set of people in the population who are still working, and if they're not working and have the same income that they've been having, they are underemployed. They are working for significantly less money just because of COVID-19 and the situations that we find ourselves in. In fact, since the pandemic has started, 22 million jobs have been wiped out completely. That's not individuals, that's jobs, industries, companies, businesses totally have been wiped out because because there's so much instability in this current marketplace. So I think I've already framed this discussion. We're going to talk about the stimulus packages that are being proposed. These things are not in place right now. There's no guarantee that any of these things are going to pass or that any of these proposals are going to pass in their current form. They're just different options that are being debated. Also, so that means that none of these things are permanent, but it gives you a sense of the direction of where Congress is headed, so that way you can plan appropriately or at least have a sense of where things are going. As more updates come, I'll definitely make more videos and give you that information. Now, as it relates to what Congress or what proposals are on the table, there's one set of congressional members that have proposed a bill that would give $2,000 per month to people who make under $120,000, plus it will offer $2,000 per child for up to 3 children. One option that's available. The House of Representatives have passed a $3 trillion bill that would include another round of stimulus payouts. So that would include another round of $1,200 checks for individuals, and for those individuals that are married, you're eligible to receive $2,400 per couple. It would also extend the federal unemployment benefit through the end of January 2021. Many of you all know that federal unemployment benefits are coming to an end here soon. So that is one of the things that's going to be important for Congress to make a decision on. Also, it would also bump up the $500 allowance from the original stimulus package for those people who had up to 3 kids, and it would increase that to $1,200 a piece, or $1,200 per child. So if you're keeping up with the math here, an individual who receives this particular stimulus bill can receive upwards to $6,000 that will be available to them to use, but a large portion of this is going to be contingent, like I said before, on you filing your 2018 and 2019 taxes. Now, let's talk about why those two tax returns are going to be important. Those are going to set the stage for eligibility for you as an individual for these programs. Also, that's going to be how the government determines whether or not you meet the income requirements for the program. Let's break down the tiers as they exist. Anyone who makes up to $75,000 as a single person would be eligible for the full payments that are available. Above $75,000 in income, your payments that are available to you as it relates to the stimulus bailout is reduced, and any single person that makes above $99,000 would be eliminated altogether from receiving any stimulus relief. So some of this, again, like I said, is still being debated, but that's the current outline as it exists. Now, for married couples, the scenario is slightly different. All they really did here is double the numbers. So for couples that filed jointly up to $150,000 of income, they would get a full check. And then for couples that filed jointly above $198,000, they would not be eligible for any of the stimulus relief or money that's available. So one of the questions that I have is, do you think that this approach targets those that need the money most? Should there be more provisions, or at least some provision in place that says that recipients of this income or of these funds have to bring certain expenses current, such as like paying rent or ensuring that that's done? Because remember, just the economy is much like the circle of life, and if these small businesses or landlords make up about 70%, or small landlords make up about 74% of all the landlord companies or entities, wouldn't it make sense to make sure that those individuals get paid? What are your thoughts? I love to hear from you as it relates to whether or not you think that's something or a provision that should be included. Another option that's being considered is what I'm dubbing a back to work bonus. Essentially what this does is it incentivizes individuals to go back to work by giving them $450 a week to go back to work. So the question that I have for you is that, do you feel comfortable going back to work if your employer or your business open back up so that way unemployment benefits stopped? Would you feel comfortable going back to your place of employment with a $450 incentive per week on top of whatever other income that you're making? So that's my question to you. Leave your thoughts down below in the comments and let me know again what you think. Again, there's a host of different options that are on the table that Congress is considering. So we have to stay tuned in the weeks ahead in order for them to really shake out what the decision is going to be. And it could be a case where this video is completely irrelevant, because what is molded or agreed upon by the congressional stakeholders will look different. So as they discuss, debate, and things shake out and impact you, I'll be making sure as your trusted realtor, I'm delivering you that information so you can build a plan, stay ahead. So make sure you tune in and stay tuned by liking and subscribing the video, because again, all of that support means the world to me. I'm Brandon, your trusted realtor, and as you can see, there's my trusty giant dog making sure that I'm on my P's and Q's. Take care, guys, and talk to you soon.